Are we more ethical in our practices when we focus on being values aligned or outcome driven? I haven't yet seen research on this. However, based on my own clinical experience, I would say that we are more likely to behave in ways that are ethical and in the best interest of our clients if we are going based off of values. Now, of course, these values need to align with the science of behavior analysis and also be in the best interest of the client in the first place. But if we have specific values that we're operating off of, such as curiosity, being affirming, and supportive. Now, some people, we could get into debates about whether or not those are values, but you get what I'm talking about. There's a framework that we're focusing on for when I'm responding within my session. I need to align in these specific ways first and foremost. Maybe it's safety. Maybe it's like Dr. Hanley talks about and you're focused on televisability. Whatever it is, you have the things that as a clinician you've determined, this is what my practice looks like, this is how I show up for my clients. When we don't have that, if we're trained and conditioned to focus just on outcomes, then our reinforcement that we receive throughout the session, like what's being reinforced in our behavior, is checking stuff off of boxes, right? It's the outcomes. And when I say outcomes, I don't mean, oh, they've mastered 10 targets. I'm going even smaller than that. Like, oh, we got through 100 trials this session. I know of companies that provide reinforcement to their employees for achieving a certain number of trials in a session with no questions asked about what that looked like for the client. What was the quality of interaction? Were they actively engaged? Were they being forced to do these things against their will, etc.? The sole focus is just, oh, we got 100 mans today, and we knocked off 100 trials of X, Y, and Z targets. But if you're trying to achieve all of those outcomes without first having that framework of how you're showing up in the session, to me, that's where people start to do things that would likely be unethical and certainly are not in line with supporting and affirming their clients, because they get so, based on that reinforcement provided, they get so focused on, I have to achieve these outcomes at all costs. I'm not saying we can't ever think about outcomes, but if our decisions are made first and foremost based off of a framework of how we want to show up to support our clients, I think our practices are much more affirming and supportive. What do you think? Should we be focusing first on values or outcomes?